All right, we should be going. Um, Thank you all for joining us for the 25th live stream. Today, we're going to show a couple of new/old things. First, the atmosphere from the previous time really wasn't accurate. It was more for an Earth-like environment. This time is actually what Mars looks like, believe it or not. And yes, it does look like this.
Your channel.
Papers have actually been done on it. Second thing is that we have a new building animation. So without further ado, we'll start that up and we can show you those things, and hopefully we'll get to some game balance stuff. We'll see what we have for today. A lot of smaller things have been fixed, as you might well imagine. Some of those strangeness that came up last live stream with the factory screen seems to have been fixed. Some other small issues like the factory wasn't lighting up, that kind of thing. So there's some smaller things. I've been working rather hard on improving the selection in the navigation screen, which is the RTS screen. I don't have that running, but I'm close. I know what's going on with it, but yeah, I know what's going to fix it. I'm just sort of in process. Maybe I'll have time to show a little bit of that today. So the server's up. Jordan, you had mentioned that you just wanted to do it against the enemy initially, and then we're going to do it against each other.
I mean, we could spawn like no enemy or whatever, just to look at the building animation a bit and make sure we're all like oohing and ahhing, and then we'll do a reset against others. I don't think we need the enemy at all.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna add anything to these tests.
Fair enough.
Volume seemed good.
All right. Well, as I said, server's up.
Downloading. I'll be there in a minute.
Now, unless you have gigabit speed, it's a pretty big download.
How big total?
About half gig, I think.
279.
It was only just another 300 megabytes for me, just like Ogre said.
All right. Well, I knew it was up there.
I mainly threw the number out just to make sure that it wasn't like missing something.
Yeah.
But it definitely took me about 2 or 3 minutes.
All right.
But I'm not on them fancy super internets. I'm on them what what can you afford internets?
Mm-hmm. All right. Are we waiting for anybody else for this initial test? Oh, there's Ogre.
Ogre.
Did you do something with the mouse pointers?
No. It's same as it has been. Matter of fact, I'm using the Windows default. I really haven't done any effort to try to change it.
It's not showing up on the screen in game, but if I alt tab to something else, it's showing up.
I am not having that problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see mine, that's fine.
That's why I was asking the question. To make sure it wasn't, to see if it was just me or if there's a wider problem.
Oh, Paul, since I'm looking at the new glass versions, we still have the scan lines on the multiplayer screen. We might want to switch that up to something else.
Yeah, I have to get to the multiplayer screen.
I'm just saying, it just hit me. You might want,
I was
hey.
thinking that myself, yes.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're doing the switch over, and yeah. Ogre, do you want me to just sort of push it through? We're just doing a test run anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. I actually disconnected because I was going back up to sort
I'm
my
joining now.
situation out.
Okay.
And Adam says he's coming in.
Yeah, it's about 300 megs for me.
Okay. That's actually what's been preventing us from doing the release all this time, is getting the larger files reconsolidated. And now they seem to be. Alright, everybody ready? I think that's yes. I should get my thrusting. Okay, so first things that people probably have noticed is we have a blue sun. Or well, the sun itself isn't blue, but the atmosphere around it is. That is actually how it looks on Mars. So if I turn back the other way, you can definitely see a more grayish tan kind of look. You can see how the mountains look, etc. when you get close down there. And that's actually how Mars looks, believe it or not. Now again, we're on twilight because we're on the North Pole, but yeah, that's kind of how it looks. As much as you might not think that that's, everybody's used to how Earth has the nice reds and the blues and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, it really just doesn't actually work that way.
That's pretty in its own way.
Well, it is. I mean, it's probably a little more brighter than it should be. I guess he'll tweak some of the numbers, but I mean, as far as the coloring goes, yeah, that's what it looks like. Someone actually did a scientific paper,
User entered your
and
channel.
I literally copy and pasted out the numbers. It's like, yep, that's what they showed. That's what you see. So yeah. I was thinking of putting an option in the graphics screen, so if you wanted it to be Earth-like, you could do it. But yeah, it definitely looks very different. So imagine, oh, and here's the brand new building animation, as a matter of fact.
I have frozen on the new building animation.
Yeah, I just crashed out.
I just crashed.
That's nice. You want to come back in, please?
Relaunching.
See, Matt, this is what we get because we don't test on Monday.
No.
This is exactly what we get.
It was a bad display list, FYI.
It doesn't matter. It's probably not that at all.
Back in.
Alright, this is going to be a very short run today, I think.
Yep. I saw it on the live stream and it looks pretty awesome.
Yep. Every time. If I go, hey, it should be fine. Ha ha ha.
But what if it wasn't?
We didn't change anything of that nature. Why do we need to test it? Ha ha ha. And yeah. So now something that fundamental we can't even do now. Alright, someone shoot at me. Would you please stop? Thank you. Alright, so assume you're back in, Jordan?
Yes.
Because your ship moving. I will say the thruster stuff and having it light up the ground actually is still very, very impressive. I guess do the research center and then we'll go from there and...
You turned off. Oh, excellent.
Excuse me?
You made it so that it stops shooting every time when my controls are locked.
Yes, so one of the big things that people are complaining about if they used the mouse to do things is that I'm clicking the buttons, so you can really see that on the live video here. But it's not shooting or afterburning where in the old days it would anyway. And so yes, I did actually fix that.
Excellent. Alright, so it's about to build. Let's see what happens.
Alright.
Crash.
Oops.
Yeah, crash as well.
Sorry.
Just as I saw.
Well, I know everybody's going to be crashing. That's of course it's going to be crashing. In any case, this is the new building animation. When you come back in, because you do one more of the research centers and just so I have a good outright view of it,
Sure.
and then well, that was the two big things I wanted to show. Was the new atmospherics and the new building animation. I wanted to show a little bit what I've been working on with selection in the navigation screen. Maybe I'll show that. But I got a feeling it's going to be very, very short. live
Sorry you
stream.
made the trip, Ernest.
Is what happens.
I assume that's Ernest. Yep.
It is what it is. What can I say?
Well, I mean, all right, we have two choices. Either I can sit here and can do a live debug, which I'm sure everybody really wants to be bothered with, or not. It's probably something small and stupid, but it's the way it goes.
Well, I am back in.
All
We'll
right.
start with. All right, let me take a look at the live stream and see where Arthur's attention is.
Just put it somewhere, and I'll just point my nose towards it. How's that? Just do another research center, because that takes a while to build.
Search. I'm going to put it in a nice, more open area that'll look nice. How about right there? Not going to go far.
Okay. That's coming towards me, I guess. There we go. Would have been nice if everybody could have seen that and given me commentary on it, because that's actually what I wanted was, how does it look compared to the old one, and what are suggestions to add to it, etc. I was thinking of adding like a circular blue beam in the middle, so it looked like it was just keeping the that blue grid suspended. I was thinking of some other things too to add to it, but I just haven't done it.
I mean, so again, I can see it on the live stream. It looks pretty good, except that the white beams go outside the area of the building,
Mm-hmm.
and so it looks like they're doing nothing.
Well, I was intending on having them go up based on the level of what it's currently building at. I haven't done that yet. As far as going outside the radius, that's going to be something different. I haven't decided whether I'm going to put that level of detail where it's going to actually trace the outside line or not. I was thinking about it, but I haven't quite gotten there yet.
I think we can get away with them going outside the radius of the building as long as you have it put a circle on the ground that defines this is the area it's looking at.
Yeah.
But as it is, it just looks like they're firing at nothing around the building.
Yeah, you won't be able to put the line around the building unless you get the clip working that I was showing you.
Get the clip working?
Yeah, the clip the two buffers from the OpenGL, the in between.
I can extract out buffers these days, actually.
I know, but you can't do it within the shader maker that we using.
Yeah. We can discuss this offline one or the other, how that's going to work, but yeah. All right. I mean, literally the only thing else to show is my meltdown about trying to get the selection of the in the navigation screen. So, for people that care, this is what everything looks like in the navigation screen. The problem is that where it thinks, when you're selecting an actual object, it's actually very accurate, and that's really not the problem. The problem is, as Jordan will say, is where he tells the builder bot to build, because he's actually clicking on the actual ground, isn't necessarily where the mouse is. And that's kind of its own problem. Now, of course, right now it's behaving, but a lot of the time it doesn't behave. I mean, I did a kind of a facsimile just so it kind of works. So to give you an idea, this is the planet. So as I'm moving my mouse over the planet, it should be selecting different triangles. And interestingly enough, if you look in the, I can't move my mouse to show it, but you can see where it thinks the mouse is. Now there's the entryway and there's the way out, but here's the problem. We're at the top of the planet right now. I mean, we're on the pole. So this top shelf that's up here is what's actually we're hitting. The other stuff is, if you think of a circle, think of a ball, you have a pole go through it, it enters one end and exits the other end. So the exit point is very accurate. You can see how crazy accurate that is. The top, not so much. So if I change the angle here so you can see this better, what it should be doing is highlighting triangles up here, and it's not. It still thinks we're somewhere else. Let me zoom out a little bit better so you can see this. So you see this big purple triangle? That's probably about 10 miles across, I guess. That's what that itty bitty red triangle that you can actually see it right up there is actually representing, because it's a planetary scale. And if you notice, as I'm moving this cursor over, it's not doing each triangle as it should. I know how to solve it, I'm pretty sure, but that's what I've been spending a lot of my time on. And this is surreal. So now you're looking at live like debugging and how to make this all work. But it does work, ish. I know how to solve it, but I just couldn't get it in time today.
We're only all counting on you.
Yeah, that's pretty much. So I can move my mouse so you can see how it actually goes from sub-triangle to sub-triangle. But unfortunately, that's on the other side of the planet. That's towards the equator. you know.
I actually can see this pretty well in the live stream. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Granted, like what I hear you saying and what I'm seeing are not synced up because the live stream is a little behind.
Right.
But even still, I'm still getting it. So
yeah.
I'm sure when it's synced up, it makes a lot of sense.
It does. This is just sort of visualizing what's actually happening. I mean, it performs very well. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a matter of fact, the new way of doing it should be so good that I intend to replace the weapon to hit code using it when it hits the ground. Here's an example. If I shoot the ground right now, it knows that I'm hitting the ground. That's actually a complex way right now of it checking. It's actually checking a lot of triangles to figure that out. Whereas the new way of doing it just does it by scaling and hitboxes, for lack of a better term. Which is, believe it or not, more efficient until it gets down to the actual final detail, and then I'll just do it this way. But in the end, it will actually be able to handle more weapons simultaneously than the current way it's doing it. So there's a method to my madness, and there's a reason why I still don't have this running. It's complicated to get this actually working. I saw someone online come up with the answer of, hey, we'll just do a screen scrape, and like we might have a depth buffer, and instead of that, just have what's actually there. It was like, okay, well, on the surface, that sounds great, but you need something a lot more accurate than that. You need something internally, because I still need to know what hit, etc. It's not just a matter of mouse picking, which is what the individual is using it for. And while I'm intend to use that for this, the concept of shooting at the ground still matters. Along with colliding with the ground, of course, but that's already working. If I fly towards the ground, it'll stop me from going through. And what you're seeing is my afterburner trying to push me through. That's why it's glowing like crazy. So, well, so here's the choices. We can end the live stream early, and then we can debug what the hell happened, and then go back to it. Or we can just say, well, that was a bad idea, or what do you want to do?
I mean,
well, if just a reminder, we have those nice new backdrops in the asset screen.
Oh, that's something to show.
So
yeah.
it looks much better now.
Let's
like
show
to
that
show
stuff,
that.
but I think once you get down to trying to debug the problem, we shouldn't promise to be back later.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So we should show what we got to show, and then we still have things to show. We still show things. It's a good live stream.
That's very true. I mean, progress is being made, and then going backwards sometimes. All right, so if we look at the asset screen, this. Ooh.
Oh, this looks so much nicer in here.
Oh yeah, doesn't it?
I saw the pictures, but it looks great.
Now this is very pretty. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen. Well, you can go to older live streams and see what it looks like. But this is going more towards the glass kind of look that Paul has come up with. And it looks like Matt has gotten in here to finally move all the icons where it's supposed to be. And now it really looks sweet. This looks like something. So, Paul and Matt, very much congratulations. This is definitely a major, major, major step up. I love how I'll admit I'm in love with the personnel bars, because just the way the red goes, it's sort of a burgundy kind of thing, and yeah, and and just how everything look. I mean, it's this looks like something. So again, congratulations, Paul. You did a very good job with this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Now that's with like Matt and I gushing over it. Jordan, what is your opinion, and everybody else's opinion for that matter?
I called Melinda over to gush over it, and she also liked it.
There you go.
Yeah, the color it's very nice. It's
And it works too. Ooh, scary. So this is kind of the format we're trying to go for as far as all the screens go. This kind of glass holographic look. Originally we were going for scan lines and such, which is why I mentioned that earlier in the stream. But we're switching over to what this looks like. So you expect more of this to be appearing in the other screens. This is one of the first screens to get it. While the original prototype was for the navigation screen, I've only recently started to really work on that, so I haven't updated it. Matt, fortunately, has done a wonderful job and made it very visible here. It looks very pretty.
Honestly, I've actually just like lightly tossed it, and I'm just
Whee!
watching it bounce up and down very slow in a slow pace.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's really I can kind of watch this for, maybe it's because I'm ADD as hell today, but I could watch this for a while.
Ooh, swirly. Well, I will be the first one to admit this looks a lot more professional. This one, you know, I mean, there will be certain niggles of like making sure some of the icons are like fit in the proper spots, that kind of thing. But otherwise, I mean, the backdrop wise, I mean, this looks like something. And
That maybe we should transition away instead of like as you move things up and down, instead of having them pop in and out, having it just slide down from above and below.
well, the original intention was actually in the code to actually have this stuff fade in. I just never implemented that part in the code, but now since we're to this point, maybe that's a thing to do. Instead of having pop in, just have it as either, as you mentioned, slide in, which is probably easier to do, or literally. I mean, I love how this purple came out. That's that's just me. So either have it fade in, or have it slide in, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that would just be it would be a little easier on the eyes.
It would be no doubt.
Now that I've been staring at it for a bit, I'm like, well, I could definitely stare at this for a while, but also I know I'm gonna have strained eyes at the end if I stare at it for too long because it's pop, pop, pop colors.
Mm-hmm.
But that is my singular criticism.
No, that's why we have feedback. That's the whole point. That's why we do these live streams, is to hear what everybody has to say about what's there, because that's how we make it better. I mean, anybody out there who wants to give us feedback, we're always open to hear it one way or the other. Hopefully we can actually do something about it one way or the other. Can't always, but
Jenny just means actual feedback, not putting the microphone in front of the speaker and having a feedback loop.
that too. Yes, no 1980s modems. You know. So I would not have known about that. Thank you very much, Matt, for bringing up that you actually have this in here. I think the factory screen stuff I think is fixed, but I don't think it looks any different.
Yeah, I think I'm still working on those backdrops.
Yeah. So this is one of the first new backdrops that we have running for the game, and I think it's working out very, very well. So over the next couple of months, expect more of the game to look like this as the standard rather than what it has been. And these things take time, but it's in process. Functionality wise, nothing's really changed that much. Yeah, no, this is actually very good, very impressive actually. So if you want, we can cut the stream and figure out what in the world is going on with the new animation, because that should not be causing the problem it's causing.
Fantastic note to end on, honestly.
What's that?
I think it's a fantastic note to end on.
Yeah, no.
Look at our cool new asset screen.
Yeah, look at our cool new asset screen. You're 100% right. All right.
Thank you for dropping by, everybody.
Yep. Let me exit out the game. So interestingly enough, it's frozen. That's nice. Now they come out. That was very strange. But anyways, now they exist. Alright, so I will put this to here. And that was a half-hour stream for one of our shortest, but there you go. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. We are hopefully going to be doing more on game mechanics over the next few months versus just showing what the next eye candy is. The intent is actually getting into a lot more game balance and into the gameplay itself, rather than just testing out the engine and things of that nature. And so we were hoping to do that today, but things didn't work out that way. In any case, again, I hope to see you next time, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. And we're waiting for all your feedback, and we'll talk to you later. All right, thanks for stopping by. Bye bye.